There are certain spiritual mysteries that don't appear in books, don't arise in speeches, and are rarely explained directly. They reveal themselves little by little, through small signs, details that go unnoticed by most, but never by those who carry the inner calling. Among these signs, there is one that always returns, silent, constant, and profound. The brown gaze of the chosen. Have you ever noticed how many old souls, sensitive, intuitive, and spiritually aware people, have eyes of this shade? It's as if this color holds a secret that the world has not yet fully understood. There is a unique vibration in brown eyes, a mix of earth, fire, and truth, that makes them reveal much more than appearance alone. It's as if the soul speaks through them before the mouth even opens. Those who carry this gaze usually don't see themselves as special. They live feeling the world intensely, perceiving others beyond the surface, absorbing emotions that are not their own, and often carrying weights they can't explain. But the truth is that this sensitivity has always been part of their mission. It's not fragility. It's a spiritual antenna, a sign of origin. Brown eyes hold something few understand: memory. Memory of the earth, memory of the soul, memory of ancient lives. They recognize people even before meeting them, sense places before analyzing them, and pick up on vibrations that many would overlook. That's why so many people feel seen or exposed when they meet the gaze of someone like that. It's not the gaze that frightens, it's the truth it reveals. And before we continue on this journey about the spiritual meaning of brown eyes and why they are so common among the chosen, I ask you to follow this channel. My name is George, and here I help you understand the signs, the marks, and the mysteries that are part of your soul. Let's go together. There is something special about brown eyes that goes far beyond genetics. For many, it's just a common color, but for those who carry the inner calling, this color holds an ancient, silent, and impossible to ignore depth. The chosen ones, those born with heightened spiritual sensitivity, often possess this shade precisely because it serves as an anchor between the physical and spiritual worlds. Brown eyes function like roots. They connect to the earth, to the dense and living energies that sustain all that is human. At the same time, they reflect an inner strength born from ancient experiences, from spiritual journeys that repeat through multiple lifetimes. That's why many chosen ones, even when young, have a mature, steady, and serene gaze. They carry deep memories that were not learned, but remembered. Those with such a gaze tend to feel the world as if it were breathing. They perceive changes in the environment, hidden emotions, and unspoken intentions. Nothing goes unnoticed, because brown eyes were shaped to perceive what lies beyond appearances. It's no surprise that many people feel understood, or even emotionally exposed, when they meet someone with this kind of gaze. The brown tone is also associated with the element of earth, stability, protection, and silent strength. The souls who choose this color before incarnating are the ones who accepted important roles during times of collective transformation. The more turbulent the world becomes, the more the earth sends souls with this vibration to maintain balance. And that's why so many chosen ones are born with brown eyes. They are energetic pillars on a planet, constantly oscillating between light and confusion. Brown eyes also serve as spiritual mirrors. Those who look deeply into them don't just see a person, they see the reflection of their own emotions. This is one of the most striking gifts of the chosen ones: the ability to illuminate shadows simply by being present. They don't need to speak, for their gaze itself carries consciousness. It reveals, recognizes, and transforms. Because of this, such individuals often attract wounded people, lost souls, and restless hearts. The brown gaze transmits comfort, yet it also confronts. It reveals the hidden truth inside the other person, even when that person tries to conceal it. It's a light that doesn't invade, but shines just enough to awaken both discomfort and healing at the same time. This depth did not appear by chance. It is part of the soul. Brown eyes carry the vibration of those who came to sustain the inner world and serve as a bridge between realities. They are eyes that have known pain but do not surrender to it. Eyes that have seen chaos yet still choose the light. That silent strength is exactly what makes the gaze of the chosen one so striking. Brown eyes do not fascinate because of their rarity, but because of their essence. They hold a fluidity that reminds one of aged wood, fertile soil, and living embers. Those who observe closely realize that this color hides more than it shows. It is a color that, when seen in a chosen one, reveals the story of an ancient soul still walking among us. The energy of brown eyes is not only deep, it is transformative. Those born with this color usually carry a spiritual mission involving healing, balance, and emotional stability. It's as if the universe itself shaped them to serve as a bridge between what is visible and what remains unseen. The soul that expresses itself through this gaze carries the ability to perceive layers that the ordinary world ignores. People with brown eyes have an almost intuitive sensitivity to detect when something is out of harmony. They can enter a room and immediately sense whether the energy is heavy, light, or confused. It's as if their gaze works as a spiritual radar, picking up vibrations even before the rational mind understands what's happening. This occurs because these eyes reflect the element of earth, yet also absorb information from the subtle plane. Such sensitivity, however, is not easy to carry. Many chosen ones live their lives believing they feel too much, connect too deeply, or perceive things they would rather not. And it is precisely this intensity that reveals their mission. They came into the world to translate emotions, transform environments, and above all, to heal. Not in the traditional sense, but through presence, compassion, and the energy that flows silently through their gaze. Brown eyes possess a peculiar magnetism. They attract, envelop, and connect. At the same time, they can awaken fear in those who are not ready to see their own truth. When a chosen one looks someone in the eyes, they don't simply see, they read. They decode feelings, recognize ancient pains, and perceive vulnerabilities that are not always spoken aloud. This explains why so many people feel exposed in front of a conscious brown gaze. The brown gaze also has the ability to absorb density. That's why many chosen ones feel drained after intense interactions. They unconsciously draw another person's pain in order to transform it. They carry an internal vibrational filter that converts shadow into clarity, sadness into comfort, and chaos into balance. This ability is a gift, but it also requires emotional and spiritual maturity so that it does not turn into burden. In addition, there is an ancestral aspect that accompanies these eyes. Souls that return with this color usually come from ancient spiritual lineages connected to protection, observation, and natural wisdom. They carry in their gaze the memory of ancient times, of civilizations that honored the earth, of peoples connected with nature, and of guardians who protected the planet's balance. This knowledge is not remembered by the mind, but flows silently through energy. Those who carry this heritage often feel they were born with too much responsibility. But the truth is that the mission of the chosen ones with brown eyes is not to save the whole world. It is to illuminate the spaces they pass through. It is to remind others of their own essence. It is to serve as mirrors of truth, even when that truth brings discomfort. Brown eyes awaken, reveal, and transform. not out of intention, but by nature. That is why, among all spiritual paths, few are as striking as that of those who carry in their eyes the color of creation. They are living proof that the spiritual manifests where we least expect it, in the silent depth of a gaze that sees the soul before the body. Those who carry brown eyes tend to perceive life in layers, as if the world were not only what happens before their eyes, but also what vibrates silently behind every gesture. The gaze of these people functions like a sensitive portal, capable of capturing details that other forms of consciousness overlook. They feel the energy of the environment not as something abstract, but as a real presence that moves around them. This perception is not learned, it is intuitive. From an early age, many chosen ones with brown eyes can already sense when someone is sad, irritated, or broken inside, even if that person is smiling. They recognize vibrations before words are spoken, discern intentions before actions occur. That happens because their eyes do not merely observe the surface, they see the emotional world hidden behind expressions. However, this gift carries challenges. After all, seeing too much can be exhausting. Many chosen ones grow up confused, believing their perceptions are exaggerated, when in fact they are signs of a much higher spiritual sensitivity. Brown eyes function as receivers of truth. They perceive hidden lies, disguised negative intentions, and dense emotions that linger in the air like smoke. Nothing escapes them. This ability often makes chosen ones feel the need to distance themselves from loud places, crowded environments, or emotionally overloaded people. It is not social isolation, it is energetic self-preservation. Brown eyes absorb vibrations easily. They capture and analyze what most people would never notice, and this can lead to deep emotional overload if one is not careful. The brown gaze also holds a unique quality. It confronts. Even without meaning to, chosen ones radiate an energy that forces others to face what they try to avoid. That is why some people feel uncomfortable maintaining eye contact with someone like that. It's not arrogance or threat, it's spiritual transparency. The brown gaze exposes, illuminates, and reveals what has been hidden, even from oneself. For this reason, these individuals attract all kinds of people: the wounded, the sensitive, the wise, and also those who do not wish to be seen. The brown gaze works like a mirror. It reflects back to others what their souls carry, and because of that, many find comfort in their presence, while others try to escape it. The depth of this gaze isn't for everyone. That depth is not merely emotional, but ancestral. Chosen ones with brown eyes carry within themselves the energy of the ancient guardians of the earth, souls that have always had the role of observing, protecting, and sustaining. Brown symbolizes roots, accumulated wisdom, and silent strength. These souls did not come to spread chaos, but to channel balance. And that balance begins in the gaze. The brown gaze is also the first visible sign of a spiritual awakening. When the soul begins to expand, the brightness in the eyes changes. They become more intense, more alive, more alert. Many chosen ones report that their eyes grow lighter during times of healing, or deeper during inner transformation. This is not just physical. It is energetic. It is this energy that makes brown eyes so remarkable. They don't merely observe the world, they decode it. And that is a gift that only strengthens with time. The more the chosen one connects to their own essence, the more their gaze transforms into light. A light that doesn't seek attention, but simply reveals what has always been there, waiting to be seen. The mission of the chosen ones with brown eyes doesn't manifest through grand speeches, dramatic gestures, or magnificent deeds. It reveals itself in small actions, in the vibrations they carry, and in the presence they offer to others. The brown gaze is, above all, a channel of balance. It brings calm where there is fear, clarity where there is doubt, and stability where there is confusion. These people serve as spiritual grounding points. Their energy resembles an old tree trunk, firmly rooted in the earth, able to withstand strong winds without breaking. This happens because brown is the color of the earth, and those born with this shade carry within them the magnetism of stability. That's why many chosen ones are seen as natural counselors, confidants, or sources of emotional safety. However, this mission is subtle. It does not require recognition, only awareness. The chosen ones with brown eyes transform environments simply by being who they are. Many of them are unaware of the impact they have. They think they are merely helping a friend, listening to someone vent, or offering a simple word. But behind that, there is a deep energetic process taking place. The brown gaze absorbs another's pain, processes that vibration, and returns calm. It's as if this gaze functions like a spiritual filter, transforming density into lightness. That's why so many people feel better just from talking to someone with this sensitivity. The brown gaze welcomes, understands, and heals, not through technique but by essence. Yet this same gift attracts challenges. The more light a chosen one carries in their eyes, the more attention they draw from energies and people disturbed by truth. Some avoid direct contact with such a gaze because it disarms masks, exposes intentions, and reveals wounds. The light dwelling in brown eyes is so clear that many prefer to look away rather than face what it reflects. Therefore, chosen ones must learn to protect their own energy. It's not uncommon for them to absorb other people's fatigue, carry others' pain, or feel emotions that do not belong to them. The brown gaze functions like an antenna that picks up everything, and it is precisely this ability that makes deep self-care essential. The chosen must learn to distinguish what is theirs from what comes from others. The mission of these eyes is to balance, but not to lose themselves in the process. Many chosen ones spend years believing their sensitivity is a burden when, in truth, it is a divine tool. Brown eyes were made to see the invisible, understand the unspoken, and illuminate paths. They are portals through which the energy of the earth expresses itself. That's why the world changes when a chosen one awakens. The vibration of their gaze transforms, and this transformation is noticeable even to those who know nothing of spirituality. The awakened brown gaze radiates both strength and peace. It is deep, but not heavy, intense, but not chaotic. It is the living expression of harmony between power and sensitivity. And that is the true mission of these eyes: to awaken awareness where there was distraction, to bring truth where there was illusion, and to reveal light where there once seemed to be only shadow. The brown eyes of the chosen ones are, and always have been, instruments of healing, not because of their color itself, but because of the soul that sustains them. Those born with brown eyes carry more than a color. They carry a silent responsibility. These eyes absorb emotions as easily as they perceive hidden lies. They are like open windows to the world, and at the same time, doors that filter everything entering the heart of the chosen one. That's why many feel life as though they were carrying an invisible weight, even when they smile or try to appear strong. This deep sensitivity is part of their mission. Brown eyes quickly pick up on dense vibrations, and almost without realizing it, the chosen one begins to process them within. They transform, organize, purify, and return lightness. It is a gift expressed through their gaze, which is why many people are drawn to these souls without knowing exactly why. They feel comfort, acceptance, and a peace that seems to radiate from the silent presence of those eyes. But the same light that heals also attracts the opposite. Many chosen ones report feeling a strange fatigue, an emotional exhaustion that appears after spending time with certain people. This happens because brown eyes function as energetic bridges. They connect emotions, illuminate shadows, and absorb what others cannot express. This ability is a blessing, but also requires spiritual maturity, so as not to get lost in the flood of sensations. Those with brown eyes tend to feel the world through intensity. They perceive hidden sadness, disguised fear, and pain masked by smiles. And they carry such strong empathy that they sometimes confuse their own feelings with those of the people around them. That is one of the reasons so many chosen ones go through periods of isolation. They need to withdraw to replenish energy, reorganize the soul, and return to their natural state of balance. And even though it appears to be loneliness, it isn't. It's recharging. It is the quiet movement of the earth, realigning itself within the heart of the chosen one. After all, brown is the color of roots, of solid ground, of the structure that sustains everything. These eyes are the spiritual antennas of that force. When the world becomes too heavy, they retract, close slightly, and shine again when inner strength returns. Over time, something begins to change. What once felt like a burden begins to turn into clarity. The matured brown gaze stops being merely sensitive and becomes wise. It learns to differentiate what belongs to itself from what belongs to others, what should be carried and what must be released. This maturity transforms the gaze, making it deeper, brighter, and more conscious. At this point, many chosen ones report that their eyes begin to change in brightness. Sometimes they appear lighter. Sometimes they take on golden reflections beneath sunlight, as if the soul were shining from the inside out. This is not merely a physical change, it is vibrational. The spirit expands, and the body follows. The eyes become mirrors of all that the soul has already conquered. This glow is noticed by the people around them, even if they don't understand why. Some are drawn, seeking comfort. Others pull away, unable to handle the intensity. Looking into the eyes of someone who is spiritually awakened is like gazing into a mirror that never lies. It silently reveals the truth, and not everyone is ready for that. The deepest phase of this transformation begins when the chosen one understands that their eyes were not made only to feel, they were made to see beyond the obvious, to see beyond masks, to see beyond illusions. This is when the brown gaze becomes a kind of spiritual beacon. It can perceive paths, recognize signs, and identify energies with a precision that defies logic. There is a point in the spiritual journey when the chosen one finally understands that the color of their eyes is not merely a physical trait, but a symbol. Brown eyes carry an ancient inheritance, a vibrational signature left by the first guardians who walked upon the earth. These beings had the mission to observe, protect, and maintain the connection between the physical and spiritual worlds. And that energy remains alive within the souls who reincarnate with the same ancestral glow. The ancients used to say that brown eyes were the mark of those who see the invisible. They were individuals capable of perceiving movements in nature, changes in the energetic field, and even human emotions before they were expressed. That sensitivity has transcended generations, and over time has manifested in the chosen the same way. Through a gaze that perceives everything, feels deeply, and recognizes the truth before it's spoken. This ancient lineage has not been lost. It flows quietly through humanity, revealing itself in people whose presence conveys steadiness, warmth, and clarity. The chosen ones with brown eyes carry the vibration of the earth, because their souls have walked through many cycles, accumulating wisdom, strengthening intuition, and developing a natural sense of protection. That is why many of them are recognized as trustworthy, stable, and energetically strong people, even without trying. And when the chosen one reaches this stage, their eyes become not only deep but also revealing. They carry a silent magnetism, an energy that attracts what is aligned and repels what is not. Brown eyes become inner compasses, pointing out paths, revealing intentions, and guiding decisions almost instinctively. The most remarkable thing is that this heritage doesn't need to be explained to be understood. When two chosen ones meet, recognition happens naturally. Their gazes connect, even if only for an instant, and both feel that they belong to the same spiritual origin, as if they were fragments of the same light scattered across the earth to fulfill the same mission, to maintain balance in a world that constantly drifts between shadow and light. The brown eyes of the chosen ones are not a genetic coincidence. They are a living symbol of an ancient mission, a silent reminder that these souls were called to perceive, heal, and illuminate through their presence. The color brown carries the earth, the sun, the roots, and the strength of the first guardians who learned to unite the human and the divine in a single gaze. Every spark, every depth, every sensitivity that these eyes express is a reflection of the spiritual path the soul has walked before arriving here. That's why, when the chosen one awakens, the gaze changes, the energy transforms, and the world around them responds. If you feel that this message speaks to your essence, leave a phrase in the comments that resonates with your spirit. I recognize the light I carry in my gaze.